where I'm going to walk everybody through the basics of the theoretical aspect of SQL. And the second part, we will dive into the database querying itself. Okay. So what is SQL? SQL is structured query language. The S stands for structured, Q query, and L language. Different people have different names for SQL. Some people call it SQL. So depending on your own side of the technology, but I prefer to call it SQL as it is spelled. So SQL is a language with which we talk to the database in the server. SQL allows you to select specific data or information and helps to build complex reports. SQL can be used as front end to many databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Sybase. So this is SQL, the language, and this is its database server. So SQL communicating with the server. The server is made up of different databases, as I'm going to show us in the hands-on. And in the database, we have different tables. So I'm going to show us an example of what a table looks like. It's just like an Excel, like a spreadsheet, which we all are used to. So this is just an example of a table. So for example, I'm calling this table the country table. And the name, okay, I have the columns as ID, name, population, and area. These are the different columns. So the columns go downward. That's the vertical aspect. And each instance of the column is a row. The rows can also be called records. So I have row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So this is a typical example of what a table looks like. And just as I've said, a database can be made up of several tables, which we are going to see in the course of the hands-on. So let's continue. There are different versions of the SQL language, such as Microsoft SQL Server, IBM Database, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access. However, they all support at least the major commands, such as select, update, delete, insert, where. We're going to be seeing these commands in the course of this seminar. So all these different types of databases, they support these major commands. So those ones are common to them all. SQL categories. This structured query language can be classified into 3 major categories. We have the data definition language. We use this to create and modify the structure of the database. That's where you are going to see create database, create table, alter table, alter database. So those ones are used to create and modify the structure. Then we also have the data manipulation language. We use this to perform read, insert, update, and delete operations on the data in the database. And that is what we are going to be concentrating on tonight, because that is what is commonly used by data analysts. Then we have the data control language. We use this to control access to the data stored in the database. And that is used by database administrators majorly. That's where you can grant access, you can grant permission, and you can revoke permission to users of the database. So this is Relative Database Management System. We have the DDL, DML, and the DCL. So we are concentrating on data management languages. The data manipulation language, because data manipulation operations are used for retrieving and manipulating data in a relational database. They are also referred to as CRUD. CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. And what that translates to in SQL languages, create stands for insert, then read stands for select, update, update, then delete, delete. So we are going to be making use of all, not all, but the most important ones in the course of this class. So these are some important SQL commands. The select function is used to extract data from a database. Then we have the updates. Updates, we use it to update data in a database. Maybe we want to add additional information to a table, we can update it. Delete, we use this to delete data from a database. We want to get rid of the data, so you want to remove it from the database. We no longer want it there. Insert into, we can insert additional information into a database. Then create database to create a new database. We can alter the database to modify it. Then we can create table, alter table, and drop table. Drop table deletes a table. So we are now going to the select syntax. So one major thing I would like us to take note of is the select syntax goes hand in hand with the word from. So select and from, they are like husband and wife. Wherever you see select, just look right behind you, are going to get from. So anywhere you see select, from should be right behind. So the select statement is used to select columns from table in a database. I believe we know what a column is now. The column is one that runs vertically, and the rows, the row is the one that runs horizontally. So we use select, we can select column 1. You're going to put the name of the column you are going to select from. Column 1, column 2. So for example, let me go back to the table. Okay, so this is a table. We can decide to select column 1, which is the ID. And this is name, column 2, population, column 3, and area, column 4. So we can decide to select name from country table. So we are selecting a column from a table. And for the select syntax, we can select a single table, and we can as well select multiple tables. Then we have the asterisk. This is a wild search. We use asterisk to select all columns in the table. If we select this asterisk from the table country, it's going to display all the columns in the table. So that means it's going to give us the ID, the name, the population, and the area. So it's going to give us all the records under these columns. Please, if you have any question, kindly drop it in the chat so that I can attend to it after I run through these slides. So let me continue. So I want to believe we are getting it. Okay,
Yes,
so let me move on. Thank you. So querying single table. To fetch all the columns, just as I've said, to fetch all the columns from the country table, we use the select asterisk. So there is a wide search. It's going to bring up everything you have in that table. But to fetch ID and name column from the country table, we use select ID, name from country. And take note, select, the word select is not case sensitive. Can either be capitalized or it can be lowercase, doesn't matter. So also is from. So we have ID, and each column has to be separated by a comma. Select ID, name, from country, then we end with column. Select distinct statement. So this is another command. Select distinct. When we say select distinct, is used to return only distinct different values. So what that means is that, for example, we can have duplicates of a particular record or of a particular field in a table. So for example, in an organization, we can have more than one employee bearing the same name. Let's say the same first name, not last name. Let's say the same first name. So if you want to select distinct first name from that employee table, it's going to bring out only one name. Since the names are the same, so it's just going to bring one unique name. So we use select distinct to remove duplicates and to get a unique records. So this is the syntax. Select distinct, column 1, column 2, and so on from table name. The where clause. So we use the where clause to filter. We use it to extract only those records that meet a specified condition. So for example, I can say select from country table where the country name is Cameroon. So it's all the record is going to give me only those records that meet that specified condition. So it's going to return only the country which name is Cameroon, because that is what I specified. Note, the where clause is not only used in select statement, but also in updates and deletes. So if you want to delete a specific rows from a table, you can specify that particular record you want to delete. It also uses arithmetic operations. We are going to look at the arithmetic operations as well. So these are the different SQL operators. Aside from the select from, we can use all these operators. We can define operators as symbols that helps us to perform specific mathematical and logical computations on operands. SQL operators have 3 different categories. We have the arithmetic operator, the comparison operator, and the logical operators. So these are the mathematical. You have the plus, minus, division, multiplication, and the modulus. So we use the plus to add together, subtract, divide. Then this operator is used for multiplication. The modulus is used to get the remainder when data is divided by another. Then we have the comparison, greater than, less than, equals to, less than or equal to, or this is not equal to. And we have the and, or, and not operators. These are the logical ones. The where clause can be combined with and, or, and not operators. The and the or operators are used to filter records based on more than one condition. The and operator displays a record if all the conditions separated by hand are true. So the hand works on records that fulfill all the conditions specified. So for example, if I say I want, okay, maybe in a class, I can say, I want boys, only boys that are 7 feet tall and light-skinned. So it's going to return the record that fulfill both conditions. So it's only going to give me the list of boys that are both 7 feet high, tall, that are 7 feet tall and are light in complexion. So those records must fulfill those 2 conditions. Then for the OR operator, this displays the record if any of the conditions is true. So this is going to give me all the list of the boys that are 7 feet tall, as well as all the list of the boys that are light-skinned. So in as much you meet one of the criteria, you are part of the records. That's what the OR does. Then for the NOT operator returns the record that are false. That is not true. So if I say, I want the list of boys that are not tall and not light-skinned. So it's going to remove those 2 conditions from the list. It's going to return to me. So I believe that clarifies that. So the syntax, we're going to select column 1, column 2, from the table name, where condition 1 and condition 2, and depending on the number of conditions you want to specify, are true. Then the NOT syntax, this is the OR syntax, the same thing. Then the NOT is going to have not, where not, then you state the condition. Where not light-skinned, or where not 7 feet tall. Then we have the other by keywords. The other by keyword is used to sort the result set in ascending or descending order. For example, if I want to get the list of all the students in the class, and I want it to be sorted from A to Z, that's going to be ascending order. And by default, SQL query returns your result in ascending order. But if you want it otherwise, you are going to specify descending order. So either you put ACS, which is ascending, or not, it's going to bring it for you in ascending order. That is from the smallest to the largest. That's from 1 to any number you want. And for the alphabet, it's going to be from A to Z. That is the ascending order. And the descending order is going to be the other way, from Z to A. And ascending and descending order for numbers can be from 30 to 1, from the largest to the smallest. Then between, the between keyword can be used in place of like greater than or less than. We use it to match a value against a range of values. So we have the low value and we have the high value. For example, if I say I want to get the list of students that are between age 7 and 12. So it's going to look to the classroom and it's going to select students that are age 7, age 8, 9, and 10 to 12. So it's going to select that range of values for me. And this is the syntax. Select column 1, column 2 from the table name, where column 1 is between, we're going to specify the low value and the high value. So I was supposed to put an example there. Then the in keywords. The hint keyword is used to check if a value matches any of the values in a given list. For example, I can state that I want the list of, I want to have a list of, let me use another term aside from students. Okay, so I have a collection of balls. I have red, yellow, green, and blue. I cannot tell the database that I want a list of balls that are in this color, in this list. So I have my list already. So this is my value 1, that's going to be red, value 2, blue, value 3, green, and so on. And I've specified that I only want the balls that have these colors. So SQL is going to look throughout the database and only provide me results of the balls that are blue, green, red. Only those that are in this list. That's what we use in for. Then the like. The like keyword is used to check for close or exact matches with specified given hints. We use it along with the where keywords. We use percentage for as many characters as possible, which can take different position. Can be at the start, at the middle, or the ending. Then we use the underscore for a single character. That can also be in the front, in the back, in the middle, or at the back. So we are going to see this in the course of the hands-on. The aggregate functions. We might not be able to do much on this because this is supposed to be basic, but I just want you to be aware that we also have the aggregate functions. Count, sum, average, minimum, and maximum. Okay. That concludes the theoretical aspects of the class. So before we move on to the next session, I don't know if anybody has any question. Yeah. Let me see.
There are no questions for now, apart from people wanting your slides, but we can always talk about that later. But for now, there are no questions. The only question I want to just ask, yeah, so we have a question. It says, why do these operators remind me a lot about Excel? So tell me that for you.
Yeah, they are similar to Excel. So you know, anything that has to do with data, they all share similar operators. So it's the same way it's applied in Excel. Similar way is also applied in Python, not other programming languages. The same thing is applicable to SQL. I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, and the other question is, what is the difference between tables and, or what are the difference between tables and databases?
Database can consist of many or several tables. I'm going to show you when we move on to the practical aspects. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So a database server can consist of several databases. And a single database can be made up of several tables. I hope that's, and also a table is made of columns and rows. It's just like hierarchical. So hierarchy, we have tables. Several tables can make up a database, and several databases can make up a database server.
Okay, the next question is, on what platform can we run the SQL queries? I think that's a segue into what you are going to do now, I think.
Yes, so we have different platforms. There is the online one, we call it SQLite. So that is just online one. You can use that on the go, but that is not advisable for if you are doing a proper project. That's just for, maybe you're just trying to learn how to use SQL. Then we have the Microsoft SQL, and we also have the Postgre SQL, aside from all other platforms. I think I did make mention of them in the course of the class. Let me see. Okay, yeah. We have MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Sybase, sorry. Then, okay, yeah. We have IBM DB2, yeah. Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access. You can run SQL also in Microsoft Access. Those are the different platforms.
Thank you so much, Kemi, for that. I think we'll just take, yeah, there's one more question. You said you mentioned during your explanation about the arrangements in ascending and descending order that SQL arranges from 30 to 1. Does this mean 30 is the highest range of a data that SQL can take?
No, I only gave an example. As if you want 1 million, depending on the number of records you have, so you can specify any number you want. What I was only trying to say is that it starts, ascending is going to start from the lowest number to the highest number. And descending is going to start from the highest to the lowest number. So I hope that clarifies that the SQL query cannot only retrieve from maybe from number 30, no, depending on the number of records you have.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you can continue now. I can't see any more questions.
Okay, so we are moving on to the hands-on. So we are going to be answering these questions. For the purpose of this hands-on, I'm going to be using Microsoft SQL database, that Microsoft SQL server. So I'm just going to, just a moment, let me see. So let me close it and log on so that you can see what that looks like. So it's a SQL Server Management Studio.
We can't see it yet. Okay.
Can you see it now?
No.
What are you seeing?
The PowerPoint slide.
Okay, just a moment. Let me.
Maybe stop sharing and sharing it.
Okay. Please let me know if you can see it now.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm just going to close it and log on again. Oh, sorry, what did I close? Sorry, I was trying to close the. Okay. Sorry, I'll just share it again. So can you see now?
Yes, we can.
You can see the the SQL server.
Yeah, the SQL server with a login window.
So I just want to show you how it looks like. So I'm trying to connect to the server. So it's a database engine. So I'm connecting to it. So I've logged on to the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So this is a server. And just as I've said, I said server can consist of several databases. So these are my database on the left-hand side. Can we all see that? Okay, so if I expand that, so I have, this is the icon. This is a symbol for database. So I have different databases here. I have AdventureWorks. I have Master Level Data Analysts. I have Q Analytics. I have SASE Dinner. These are the different databases I have on this server. And for each of the databases, so tonight we are going to be working on AdventureWorks. AdventureWorks is a sample database for Microsoft SQL Server. So The reason why I want to use that is for us to have an idea of what a real life scenario looks like. I don't want to use any small database. So I want to use a bigger one so that we can see what it looks like. So this is a database that we are going to be using, AdventureWorks 2019. So if I open this, my database, just as I said a single database is made up of tables. So let's see. Okay. So can you see my tables now? So let's see the number of tables that we have in this database. So let's open the table. Okay. Can we see? We have several tables in this particular database. So tonight we are going to be working on like 2 or 3 of those tables here. We are going to be working on the human resources employee table, and we are going to be working on the person table, and we're also going to be working on the production products table. So this database is actually like a real data, but it has just been modified. So we are going to be using that tonight. So let's go back to our questions. Okay, question 1. Show the product number, and I want this to be as interactive as possible. So as I'm going to be, maybe I will work on the first one so that we can have an idea of what it looks like. And as I'm working on that, I want us to be giving me like suggestions from the table, from the charts, to show that you understand what we have learned so far. So this question is saying, show the product number and the color of the product with product name ML Cranker. So let me mention that ML Cranker is a string. There's what we call string and numbers. Anything that is not a number is referred to as string. That is common in data analytics. So for every string, you are going to be putting them in quotation. So that's why I put this in quotation mark, so that I can remember to talk about that. So the question is for us to show the product number. So what we want is product number and the color of the products with product name. So I want someone to send in the chat, everybody anyway, anybody that knows it. Which table do you think this question is referring us to? Yes? Keep your chat coming in. What table? Okay, let me go back to, okay, I'm just going to copy the question. Okay, sorry. Okay. So the question is show the product number. So let me just get this out.
Yeah, so I have product name, production product, production product, production product. So we have a couple of suggestions that.
All right, thank you so much. I'm glad we're all following. Okay, good. So we are going into the production product table. So let's go in here. So mind you, this is a database server. And I told this server is made up of different databases. So anytime you are working on the server, you want to specify the particular database you are working on so that the query will know where to query from. So first, I'm going to click on New Query. Okay, so that gives me a platform where I can write in my query. So let's look up here, the available databases. Here is giving me master, but I don't want master database. I want a specified database, which is, so you are going to click on the drop down. So we want to work on AdventureWorks. So I'm going to click on AdventureWorks. Okay. So let's see, we've all agreed that we are working on production product table. So let's go there. Okay. Where's the production product table? Okay, here. So can someone tell me the first syntax that we need to type? Yes. Keep it coming in your chats. Give me a suggestion.
Yeah, so I have select. They are typing faster than I can even.
Okay, thank you. So we have select, but mind you, for me, I'll first say from, let's go down, from, we've all said production product table. So there are two ways. You can either type the production, as you are typing, it's going to give you suggestion, product table. So you want to click on the production product table, or the easy way is just go in here, production product table, just drag it. Bam, just drop it there. Then you come here, put your 7 column. Don't forget that. Okay, so what are we selecting? We know that we are working with this table, so we have already selected that table so that we don't forget. So what are we selecting? The question says, select product number. So we want product number. So let's see. So we are going to product number. Can see that it's also giving me suggestions because I'll specify the table I want. So it's looking at all those things that are similar to the columns in that table. So I'm selecting product number column. Then the second one says color. So let's see color. Is there color here? Okay. What again? Of the products with product name ML Crankcam. Okay, so one product number and color with product name. So that means product name is also needed. So let's put product name. Product name. Is there product name here? Or let's see, there is name. Okay, there is name. Okay. From production product table. There is another condition. It says where the product name is ML Crankcam. So who want to tell me? Oh, sorry, I already said it. I've already said it. So we are filtering. So the products we want to select must have the name ML Crankcam. So we are going to use the where to filter. So where name equals. So we are going to put the quotation mark ML Crankcam. Close quotation. Okay. So let's run our query. So we go to this place, execute. Can we see our record? So the result here is only one. If there's any mistake in your syntax, in your query, you are going to be prompted. It's going to tell you there's a mistake on so row. Maybe in the course of this, in case you make any mistake, we are going to see what the prompt is going to be like. So here we can see that the product number we are looking for is CA6738. The color is black and the name is ML Crankcam. Okay. So here we've been able to use from the where syntax and the select syntax. So the next question. So we are going to use the where syntax again. Which employee login ID has 8 hours vacation? Maybe, for example, in the organization, the HR want to know those employees that have 8 hours left in their vacation period. So in your chat, can you please suggest to me which of the tables we are likely to work on? Yes. We want to look at the employees whose login ID has 8 hours of vacation. Yes, suggestion. What table do you think we are going to be working on?
We have human resource.employee. People are suggesting.
Thank you. Okay. So another hint sometimes you might not be sure if what you are looking for is in that table. So it is always advisable for you to check on that table first to see the available columns. So the way we are going to do that is we are going to do a wide search on the column, on the table. So let's go to that human resources table now. So that's human resources employee table. Okay, where are you? Oh, here it is. Okay, so let me write my select first. So select. So let's bring our table in. Then our column. Select, so let's do a wide search. Who wants to tell me the symbol for the wide search for us to get all the columns in the table? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Omo. Okay, so let's do the wide search now. Okay, that's the asterisk. So let's see. So because we have more than one query, I'm going to highlight this. So I'm telling the server to only run this query because that's the one I highlighted. Okay. All right. So from the human resources employee table, we have different columns, and these are the columns: business entity ID, national ID number, login ID, organization node, and so on. These are all the different columns we have in there. We have birth date, marital status, gender, hire date, and so on. Okay, so but the question says, do we have vacation period? Yes, we have vacation hours. So we are looking for the employee that has only 8. So we have different hours. So maybe the HR is just trying to look for those employees that will be able to work at a particular point in time, because maybe in summer, everybody wants to go on vacation, but HR wants to know people that don't have much vacation period left. So let's see. So we are selecting, we want the login ID. So where is the login ID? Let's see. So login ID, let's see. Login ID. So that's the only thing we want. And vacation hours. So that means we have vacation hours because vacation hours must be 8. So let's see. And anytime you are naming your columns, you want to be careful with this, with the way you write. It has to be the same with the way it's written in the table itself. Okay, select login ID and vacation hours from this table. So what else? Can somebody tell me what else we need to do? Yes? I'm just going to take 8 hours. Okay, so I'm just going to move on because of our time, looking at the time. So we are just going to where vacation hours equals 8. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we have these 3 employees that have 8 hours vacation left. Let me quickly move on to the next question. So we have list all people whose last name ends with L. So want the list of all the people whose last name ends with L. So let's see. Let me move on to list of all the people. So we are going to person table. Sorry, because of our time, let me just, so that I can touch all the questions. So select, I said it's always good for us to do asterisk first to know all the columns that are available from person table. Okay. If you want that, you can see all the columns available. But we said we want those whose last name, you can see first name, middle name, and last name, end with L. So let's see. So that means we must select the last name. If you want, you can select first name, but we are most particular about last name. Last name ends with, so we are going to say like, remember the like, oh, sorry. So we are going here where last name, like L. So I'm going to put my column. Okay. So we select last name. So we can also select, maybe we should select everything. Let's see. Select everything. From persons, where last name is like. So this is the like, this is a percentage symbol that I put in front because I want those that ends with L. If I want those that start with L, I'm going to put it at the back. So let's run this and see. Okay. So if you look through all this, we are going to see that their last names ends with L, 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 L. And we see Powell, Bell, Patel, and so on. So let me move on to the next question. Select, okay, order, okay, or the order by statement, list of people in descending order. So we can still use this in descending order. So we are okay, so we are still going to get the list of people.
Hello, Kemi, we have about 5 to 4 minutes left.
Okay, yeah, I'm just rounding up. So order by last name. I'm going to order them by last name. So in descending order. So you put your, sorry, last name, not last value. Let's just select the last name so that can make it faster. Last name. From person, order by, want to order it by, arrange it by last name. Last name. Okay. Order by last name, then in descending order. Okay. So we can see, start from Z, that upward. Okay. Then the last question, show the different job titles we have in Adventure Works. So for the job titles, I think that should be, let's see, what table is that? Employee department history. Let's see human resource. Let's see the employee again, whether, let's see. So we want to see where you're going to have the job titles. Let's see the employees. Okay, from employees. Okay. Do we have job? Yeah, we have job titles here. Okay. Okay, so we want to show the different job titles we have in Adventure Works. When we say the different, that means distinct. So we want to have select distinct. Distinct job titles. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Sorry. Let's on that. Okay, so these are the different job titles. And at the left-hand corner here, you are going to have the number of rows. So we have 67 rows returned. Okay, I think that will be all for me. Because of our time, we will not really be able to do so much. So we've been able to answer all the questions. Now, I'm open to questions. Maybe you can take 1 or 2 questions.
Okay, someone has been asking that, can you, in one of your queries, can you make a mistake so that we can see the error message that you will get?
Okay,
okay. Quickly do that. Okay,
let's quickly do that. So let's say, select, okay, let's just say select. What do we say? Okay, select. Okay, let's put, okay, let me just put comma. Because you're not supposed to put comma before from. So let's see, let's run it. Okay. Complete, it's telling me incorrect syntax near the keyword from. So it's pointing to that place where the problem is coming from. Incorrect syntax. So you want to look at your syntax. Oh, what you now ask yourself, what did I do wrong? So you're going to be looking around. It's also highlighted, right? You're going to be looking around from. That will point you to where the mistake is from. I hope that answered that question. And many other error like that is going to point you to that specific area. It can even tell you row 1 or row 2 is going to tell you where that mistake is from.
Okay, great. Rookie is satisfied with that. Do we have any other questions before we round up? Okay, if there's none, I just wanted to tell you that what you saw today was just a tip. We couldn't go into details because it's usually a 1-hour session. But hopefully we are going to get Kemi back to come take some. Yes, you can find the recordings on our YouTube page, and I did share our handles for Career Aid Hub. So you will find it in the Career Aid Hub YouTube page. It's actually streaming now, and you can also watch our other the other classes that we've had, or the other webinars that we have. If you need to make inquiries, you can send an email to info@franoff.com, and we'll attend to your emails. We do offer trainings, and we actually have one going on right now, and that is moving to the practical phase, where people are going to try out, the clients are going to try out a case study, a business analysis case study, and be able to produce some business analysis work products. Also, we are also going to be having a class coming up very soon in fall that is strictly focused on data. So we'll be doing SQL Server, we'll be doing everything on the SQL query language, we'll be doing things on the database, trying to understand it a lot better. And so I'm excited that Kemi will be part of those that will be the faculty, and we'll have other faculties. So that's just what we have coming up. If you've not subscribed, please, if you've not liked our pages, please do, so you can get notifications on when next we are having webinars. So I want to say thank you to Kemi. Thank you for your time and for the work you put into this.
Harry, there's a question.
There's a question. Can we get
somebody said I have a question. Maybe she might unmute to ask her question.
Okay. Can we get the recording? Is on YouTube. Sorry, which the person that asked the question? I can't see.
I think Lola.
Yeah, Lola A.
Okay, Lola, if you can raise your hand, I can unmute you. It's kind of difficult to find. If you raise your hand, I'll just unmute you. Okay. Okay, I can't see any hands raised. If you don't want to raise your hands, you can type in the questions and we will attend to it.
Sorry, some people are asking for where they can practice. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to include resources. There are several resources available, like the Microsoft SQL database server that I used tonight can be downloaded, but that can involve some technicalities. Aside from that, you can do the SQLite online. I can chat the website in the chats. So you can go there, you can do some hands-on practice. And to learn more about SQL, there are different places. For example, like the W3 School, you can use that. Several resources on YouTube, also Udemy, and so on. So you can make use of any of those to enhance your learning. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I will unmute Lola.
Harry, can I say something? Yeah, for those that are not registered, that didn't register for this, they can register, and then we'll send out an email with all the resources Kemi mentioned. So if you've not registered, please use the registration link. Register, we'll send a link to this recording and all the resources she mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't know if you'll be able to go back to the practice thing, but my question was, assume I don't even have idea where the data I want is among many tables. Like, let's say the login ID, I don't have idea where it is in any of the tables. Can I just type select asterisk and it will point me to the table where I have login ID?
Thank you so much, Ola, for that question. Yeah, as a data analyst, the first thing that is expected of you is to know your data. You must know the business. If you don't know the business, you might find it difficult to actually be able to query your data. Once you are familiar with your data, you know which table. For example, if you are looking for a particular product, you know where to go. So you know which table has what information. If you are looking for the name of the product, you know you are going to go to the product table. If you are looking for sales, how much product was sold, you know you are going to go to the sales table. So as a data analyst, you must be conversant with your data. So you know what table house what information. So that's part of the prerequisite that you must know before you can actually query a particular table. So you can't just go. You know, when I wanted to go to the database, I didn't just go to you saw it automatically it gave me master. But I have to select the database that I want because I know where what I want is. So I selected the AdventureWorks database because that is where the information I need is. And when I got there, I selected the table I want. I can't just put select from where. You must specify where you are taking it from. You can't just go to a house and say, just go anywhere and pick up something. You are going to say, when you get on the table, or on the chair, under the table, you are going to specify that particular place where you are going to take it from. I hope that answers that question.
Okay.
I may have another question. Just
Okay.
follow up to that, your response. So I'm a new data analyst in an organization and they have an ERP and I've never used that ERP before. And I'm supposed to download or run reports from the database. How do I understand the table? For example, the guys in sales wants to run a report, somebody else in finance wants to run a report, they want to build a new report. How do I understand that system, the database, where the data resides and what to get? Can you give me like a step-by-step of how I can achieve that?
Sure. Thank you so much, Ogi, for that question. On getting to an organization, you are new. The first thing that you are going to have is they are going to give you induction. They are going to introduce you to, you will know your stakeholders, the people you are working with, and you are going to know what the expectations is from you. They ask you to get data. They are going to tell you where the database is housed. They are not just going to tell you, just go and get data. They are going to tell you, this is the type of database we are using here. We use PostgreSQL. We use Microsoft SQL. Like when I got to my organization, they made me understand that this is where our data, we call it is like a repository. That's where they are storing their data. You must know where the repository is. They will show you. Or you can ask, okay, I'm running this report. Before you can run a report, the first thing is you want to know where the data is coming from, the data source. So you must know where the data is coming from. And you must know who is in charge. That's what we call data governance. Who is in charge of that data? Just as I was saying in the slide, I said there's a place where they'll need to grant you access. It's not everybody that have access to that database. One person or the other will be responsible for that database. So if they think you need those data, they are going to grant you access. And that's where we have the revoke, the grants functions. We didn't go into that. So that's what you want to know. They are going to show you where those things are housed, and they are going to grant you access. It's from there that you'll be able to know how to navigate the database, and you're going to know where to get what you want from, in a nutshell. So, okay, I hope that gives you like a bit insight to how you can do that.
Thank you very much, Kemi. Yeah, thanks a lot.
And I just quickly wanted to add that if you are new to the organization, you can request for a data dictionary that will give you an idea. You can request for a data model that will tell you the relationship between your tables and all that. You can request for an entity relationship diagram. So all those just gives you information on how, not just where your database is, but how they are connected to each other, the relationship between them, what are the primary keys, what are the foreign keys, so that's just in addition to that. I don't think we have any more questions because we've gone beyond 11 minutes beyond our time. And I want to appreciate Kemi. Thank you for your time, not just in presenting, but thank you for your time in preparing for this, because I know SQL is a lot. So trying to figure out the best, what is most important to give out in just 1 hour. I know that's just a lot of work on its own. And also I want to say thank you to all our attendees. Really appreciate that you are here. We do this because of you, and we'll keep doing it as long as it interests you. We have other webinars that are going to come up soon. We're going to bring Kemi back, and we have other webinars that are going to come up. So subscribe, send us an email so we can add you to our mailing list, and then we'll go on this journey together. We are in the business. The registration link has ended. Yeah, registration link has ended. That's true. So what I will do is I will see if I can extend the registration for another 2 hours, just so that okay, I'm trying to do that now, just so that more people can register and you can be in our mailing list. So just give it like a minute or two. I'm going to extend the registration so that you can join. So apart from that, I really don't want to stay too long because of people from different parts. Boss, boss, can you unmute yourself? You have a question. Let's quickly take that so we can call it a day while I extend. Boss, are you there? Can you raise your hands, boss, so I can find you? Okay, so I have extended the registration. I've extended the registration. You can go and register so we can get you in our mailing list. Okay, boss. So we'll take just one question from boss. I don't know whether it's a question or a comment. You can unmute yourself now so we can call it a day.
Yes, thank you very much. In the email you sent out, the timing was 7 p.m. Will you be able to indicate the time zone in the future seminars?
Yes. Was actually supposed to be there, but that's noted. It's usually there, but maybe for some reason. But thank you for noting that. It's usually in our banners and all that, but maybe the email did not have that. But thank you for that, and apologies for that. Registration link, I will paste the registration link now so that if you want to register, you can just quickly do that. So I'm pasting registration link and you can pick it from there. So thank you everybody for attending, and I wish you a very lovely night or evening or morning, depending on where you are, and also a beautiful day tomorrow. Okay, take care and bye-bye. Thank you, Kemi. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.